We're out here enjoying some forward driving in the Aussie bush, and today we are about to debunk a common myth that has been holding many forward drive enthusiasts back. This is Frenzy Adventures, and in today's video we're diving into the topic of, do you really need mods to go four-wheel drive? Are you someone who has been holding off on exploring the great outdoors because you think your four-wheel drive isn't equipped enough? Well, let's put those doubts to rest and empower you to hit the trails. Modifying a four-wheel drive depends on the intended use, budget and personal preference, but you don't need to modify your four-wheel drive. I mean, the manufacturers build four-wheel drives with the intent to be used off-roads. Contrary to popular belief, you don't always need an extensive list of modifications to embark on a thrilling off-road adventure. We'll showcase the capabilities of stock four-wheel drive vehicles and prove that sometimes it's all about the driver's skills and mindsets. Sure, mods can enhance your experience, but we'll dive into the fundamental factors that truly matter. Important things to consider when forward driving include tyre pressures. Not only can tyre pressures drastically increase the performance of your vehicle off-road, but they can also increase your comfort. Terrain assessment is another one, simply by getting out of your car and going for a walk of a section of trail to see what lines are best for your car. So an example of this is when we were out at Sundown National Park, we came across this little creek crossing along our travels. It was definitely a bit too deep for the old Grand Vitara here, so we turned around. It wasn't the end of the day, we still had an awesome time out exploring. Down the line, I decided to put a snorkel on the car. It's not worth using it as an excuse to miss out on the adventure. So essentially my thought process is, when I find a situation that I need a mod, or I look back and I'm like, oh, I could have done with a mod for that, that's when I will consider actually going through the process of installing that mod onto my four-wheel drive. Well, you might be wondering, I should just go out and full drive then. There are definitely some essential gear that you should consider taking, depending on what you plan on doing. You might need some particular items. As a general note for sand driving, I'd recommend taking at least a shovel. Like, if you don't want to be digging for hours and hours, a set of recovery boards is a must as well. But a shovel as the bare minimum, as you can literally dig your whole car out. Now, the other thing you're going to need is a tyre gauge. You can actually use your car key to deflate your tyre, just push it up against the tyre valve and the air will come out. But you're going to need a tyre gauge to check the pressure. As for when you're finished forward driving, you're going to need to be able to air back up. So you're going to need an air compressor for that. However, there are some circumstances when you can get away without an air compressor of your own. For example, we've been up to Bribie a number of times. There's service stations nearby. At the end of the day, do you really need to carry an air compressor if you've got service stations around? Just plan ahead. A lot of these service stations have air compressors, like the ones at Bribie. Drive slowly to them, air up, and you're good to go. Now, what about for going out on the dirt like today? Well, the tracks I'm doing today are all pretty easy, but if you did encounter some trouble, like you ended up stuck in a mud bog or you decided to cross said creek right here, I'd say you need recovery tracks and 2 bow shackles. And on top of that, you're going to also need a recovery point. I've got one in the rear and actually don't have one at the front. I've found that all I've needed over the years. If I'm full driving with Jeffrey, when we've gotten stuck, because usually when I'm pushing it when I'm with others, we just pull the car out in reverse. Having said that, ideally, I would recommend having 2 sets of recovery points, front and rear. Over the years of forward driving, I started off driving the Grand Vitara completely stock. Just check out some of the footage of me and Jeffrey having a ton of fun at Genoan Hills. This Jeffrey's car was also completely stock in this video, so it's pretty epic. Oh, big wheel left, big wheel left. Over the years, we have done a few mods to aid us in getting further, but remember, it's not always about having the flashiest mods. It's about getting out there, embracing the thrill of the unknown and pushing your own limits. Don't let the fear of needing mods hold you back from an incredible world of four-wheel driving. Next time you get the chance to go four-wheel driving, fuel your car up and hit the tracks. For those of you wanting more four-wheel driving, hit the subscribe button, and to my left, if you want to check out Genoan Hills, click this video.